Due to their orthodox views and stringent family values, the Duggar family, who were famous for the reality shows 19 Kids and Counting On, has frequently been the target of public criticism. Fans and detractors alike have been keeping a careful eye on the Duggar children's life, especially their sexual connections in this environment. Johannah Duggar has always been considered the more reserved and responsible one of the Duggar children. Johannah has been through a lot recently, but new information about her broken engagement with Shyam has shown how her life has changed, how she has to walk a fine line between being independent and being controlled by her family's religious beliefs. Duggar fans are shocked by Johannah and Shyam's breakup, but the underlying storyline that emerges from this is even more interesting. The narrative delves into themes of conformity, autonomy, and the conflict between familial control and individual development. Although the specific reasons behind the separation are not publicly disclosed, Johannah's decision marks a turning point in her life, impacting not only her future but also the whole Duggar family. Johannah Duggar, an unassuming member of the Duggar clan. The eighth child of the Duggar family, Johannah has been in the spotlight for much of her life since her 1998 birth. Johannah stayed out of the limelight for a while, in contrast to her older siblings who all got married and started kids. She has received accolades for her maturity and sense of duty as one of the younger Duggar children, who frequently helped her parents nurture her younger siblings. The public was nonetheless interested in Johannah's life, particularly when it came to her courtship, even though she was quieter than her elder siblings. When a member of the Duggar family gets involved in a love relationship, their parents keep a close eye on it. For the Duggar family, courtships are very important, frequently culminating in marriages and engagements with little opportunity for individual discovery. Both enthusiasts and outsiders have their opinions on this dating style, which is rooted in conservative Christian ideals and traditional family structures. Courtship and parental engagement in relationships were just woven into Johannah's upbringing. Nonetheless, Johannah reaches a turning point in her path after the end of her engagement to Shyam. This turning point is important for Johannah on a personal level, but it also has broader implications for the Duggar family dynamic. This begs the question, did Johannah want more freedom to make her own decisions, or were her family's expectations and limitations the driving causes behind her decision to cancel her engagement? The system of Duggar courtship, authority versus independence. The Duggars' relationship model has long been scrutinized. Even though many young adults nowadays choose their own romantic partners, the Duggar family has preserved a tradition where parents are heavily involved in their children's courtship. In this culture, courtship is more common than casual dating, and it is traditionally seen as a stepping stone to marriage. The core principle of this method is that partnerships should be taken seriously right from the beginning, leaving no space for doubt. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar are very concerned in their children's relationships and frequently speak about their children's potential marriages. Many of the Duggar offspring have found happy long-term marriages because to this approach. On the other hand, there are times when courtship is quite limiting. Some people think the Duggars' overly controlling parenting style limits their children's freedom of choice and expression because of how involved their parents are. This system might have served Johannah well at first, but as she grew up and had her own opinions and desires regarding romantic relationships, it probably got more and more challenging for her to navigate. This wooing strategy has come under scrutiny because of Johannah's broken engagement with Shyam. There might have been other considerations outside the Duggar family's opinion that made Shyam a good fit. The capacity for autonomy or autonomous decision-making is often at odds with the dominating control of a system. Some may interpret Johannah's decision to break off the engagement as a protest against the family's strict moral code. Johannah wanted to go back on her own 2 feet, so she made this decision on her own, which probably had nothing to do with Shyam personally. Constraints from parents. The Duggar children have grown up in an extremely conservative household where their parents keep a close check on them at all times. In many families, parental consent is required for every major life decision, from clothing choices to marriage prospects. Many of the Duggar children have found comfort and aggravation in this arrangement. While parents do provide guidance, Such counsel can feel like a shackle at times.
Johannah may have broken up with Cheyenne because she was unable to resolve this conflict. Perhaps she came to the realization that if she wanted to advance in her life, she had to start making choices that were genuinely her own. Nobody made Johannah's decision in a vacuum, and that is significant. This was probably impacted by her growing sense of self and the internal struggle she had with wanting to please her family, but still finding her own way. The additional responsibility Johannah had as the family's helper likely further contributed to her stress levels. Like many of her older siblings, Johannah Duggar stepped into the job of parent herself. She was an integral part of the family's routine for a long time, helping out with homeschooling, taking care of her younger siblings, and more. This position may have provided Johannah with the feeling of direction, but it also had the potential to limit her opportunities for self-discovery and development that other young adults enjoy. By breaking off her engagement, Johannah may have been claiming her independence from others and their expectations of her by putting her own wants and needs first. Love and courtship, a web of complexities. As a result of their meticulous courtship rituals, the Duggar family tends to romanticize love and marriage. Love and marriage, however, are multifaceted and ever-changing experiences that defy easy categorization. The fact that Johannah decided to break off her engagement to Shyam shows that relationships don't always work out, no matter how much effort is put into them. Making this choice was challenging for Johannah. There is a lot of pressure on the Duggar children to live up to these standards, such as marriage and romance, which might lead to unrealistic expectations. Johannah and Shyam's engagement was no guarantee that they were emotionally and spiritually prepared to tie the knot. They may have learned the hard way, like any young couple, that they weren't a good fit or that they had divergent goals for their lives together. For the Duggar family, the breakup of an engagement is a watershed moment. This implies that Johannah's path will be completely her own and not necessarily one that follows the typical family tree. The road ahead for Johannah towards self-sufficiency. Now that her engagement is over, Johannah has a future that is both unknown and full of thrilling possibilities. She can now make her own choices without the pressure of her family's expectations. Despite the challenges, Johannah has grown as a person as a result of her journey to freedom. She is taking a bold step towards self-discovery and independence by breaking off the engagement. A multitude of opportunities now await Johannah's future. She has the freedom to pursue her own interests, work toward her own objectives, and, if she so wants, meet a life partner whose beliefs and priorities are congruent with her own. She can finally stop hiding behind her family's values and live her life on her own terms. This is a new beginning, one that she has worked for by being brave and honest with herself. A new beginning, a final reflection, final chapter. More than simply a romance breakup narrative, Broken Engagement with Shyam, Autonomy versus Control by Johannah Duggar, is a complex work. It's a tale of coming of age, maturing as an individual, and navigating the knotty issues of love and family dynamics. The courageous choice Johannah made to end her engagement to Shyam reflected her determination to live her life independently. The road ahead might not be smooth, but it is hers to travel. Now, Johannah Duggar is more than just an idealized offspring of the Duggar family. She has confidence in herself and her abilities as a young lady, and she's prepared to take charge of her destiny, and that maybe is the strongest assertion there.